Welcome to the Backlog Chronicles.
We are a podcast that challenges fanboy beliefs
and takes a pragmatic approach to all things gaming.
We strive to create a community for self-thinking fellow gamers.
A community where logical conversation can take place.
And a drive to further one's knowledge of gaming can be sparked.
Take a seat.
Show's about to begin.
It's been 2 weeks, man. It feels like a month.
It's been a lifetime.
It does, man. It does. What is up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Yo.
Thank you for being with us on TBC 68. This oh wow, I can't even say September. Fuck, you see how out of the loop I am? This October 3rd, 2021. My name is Mo, Dr. Mo Kalma. I'm here with my with MFS, my fucking sons. The what do you call it, man? So you can't say the trio. What do you say for four people, bro? What is it? The
quartet? The four horsemen.
Quartet.
I guess
The four horsemen.
I think that's taken though. I've seen it before, but I'm a Darksiders fan, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that is true, man.
Yeah. You can acapella this.
Yeah, we might be able to, but yeah, I'm here with my guys, and we're sorry about last week. You know, for those who care. We were honest about last week too, you know. I mean, it was 8 p.m. Halo Infinite, you know, everybody wanted to get on the flight. We're like, man, we're not about to sit here and talk to ourselves. And on top of that, and then even today we did it 2 hours earlier to accommodate also for the Halo Infinite flight for tonight, because obviously it's you know, it's the last night. This it's the last time at 8 p.m. So, or in 2 hours, or whatever fucking time zone you live in. Yes, Hassan, it is a foursome. Thank you. You know, thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, so I don't even know what the hell I was gonna say, dude. I completely forgot, man.
It's been too long.
So
we're getting back on the horse.
We're getting back on the horse, man. Yeah. So anyway, everybody in the chat, thank you for being with us. Nick, Lady, Hassan, Brian, thank you guys for being here, and we got a good show. So we have some topics from the last couple of weeks, but obviously we're not going to talk about everything, because some of the shit that has been, you know, talked about, you know, just excessively. So we're just going to try to focus on at least like the things that are at least fun to talk about. But let me go around since I haven't even seen you guys, honestly, you know, up until now. So first is my fucking son, Jordan. Got a lot going on, bro. The dashing debonair. What's up, baby?
Oh yeah, man. Not much, dude. It's so good to see all your guys' faces. It has been a long friggin' time. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like it. You're absolutely right.
I know, man.
A lot of life shit happening, you know, aside from all the Halo stuff that we've all been dabbling in and enjoying. I am in the middle of transitioning. I'm moving to a new rental unit now. My rent is just going way too high after all this COVID stuff. But, you know, all that noise is already past me now. So I'm just packing my stuff up, and I'm going to be out of here by the middle of this month. Looking forward to it. I'm hoping
Get out of town, Jordan.
No. I'm hoping it'll be smooth. It's so funny. It's like it should be really low on my priority list, but I was like, I wonder what the internet service provider is out there. I better make sure it's a good one.
Important shit,
right?
For sure, bro. For
right?
sure.
So I called up Xfinity Comcast. I was like, please tell me you service this address. They're like, we do. I'm like,
nice.
Nice.
I'm good. So it should be a smooth process. But yeah, aside from that, man, I'm just happy to see all your guys' faces. Yeah, I just need that energy, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. I was telling you before the show started, so we're kind of like
tough. I know.
It is. It really is. I could talk on that for a good minute, but it really is a different type of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll end it here. But that's why you get a lot of this. Oh holy shit, like, look at all this shit, you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, I could be like that sometimes too, but like, whenever you're pulling from, you know, that showmanship energy or whatever, it gets a little, it's a weird, you got to find it
I
for
know.
sure, for sure.
I know. Mike, I need your energy though, man. So I'm loving this. Yeah.
Keep it going.
Oh shit, that's right. I think Kevin, you said it's 67. I thought we already did 67.
Nah.
Is this
That's
gonna keep
68.
happening with us, man? Are we gonna
Yes.
keep screwing?
No,
God damn it.
It's
Okay.
gonna keep happening with you.
With me.
Yes, with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it is my dementia. I'm sorry. I guess it's 67.
But we love
Just
you.
rewind everything. Oh,
I
thank you.
I wasn't gonna call you out on it. You could have just ignored it.
Son
You
of a
know
gun.
what? Yeah, I have to. I could have sworn that it was 68.
You wanted
Oh my
there
god,
to
this
be
is
an
67.
episode.
I just checked
Yeah.
it on the. Oh my god.
Cool,
Yes, you are.
cool.
Sorry, guys. This is TBC 67. 67. Yes.
From the top.
Yeah, 69 is almost here.
Yes, sir. Pumper right here, man, with the gem. Can't wait for
Yeah.
69. Yeah, I guess we got a couple more weeks.
69 will
Man.
come.
Anyway, yeah, Jordan. I know you've been telling us about your move, man. I'm glad you're at least getting that shit situated.
Yeah,
So that's,
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
good.
It's a weight off. It's a weight off my shoulder for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man, for sure. Kevin,
Yo,
what's up, baby?
I'm trying to channel some of Mike's energy here. I'm feeling
you
it.
are,
I'm feeling
man.
it. I
Yeah,
got a
you
little
are.
caffeine coursing through my veins.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been playing a bunch of different shit. I've been also busy, just managing sickness. Everybody got the crud around here the last 2 weeks. I think we're on the up and up now. Feeling better. Got my hot tub cleaned out yesterday, which if you're a hot tub owner, you know what that means. That shit is intense. You got to get up in there, scrubbing, toothbrushes to scrub all the fucking nozzles. The bleach has got to come out, man. So I am sore, dude. I am sore as fuck. I'm also fat and out of shape. So that also contributes to me being sore. But I didn't kill myself. I didn't fall. So these are all good things, and the tub is all nice and clean. So I might like crawl in there today if I can even manage to get in, and after the show and soak. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this month. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of games.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah, definitely. Man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Ow. Yeah, here Nick's just quoted you too. You have to get up in there.
I'm very quotable. Yeah,
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
I was elbow deep in there, dude. My wife actually came out and was like, "The fuck you doing?" And I like popped my head out of the empty tub. Like, I decided to
Sweating.
clean the tub. Yeah, dude. I'm like 3 hours in. She's like, "Holy shit, let me come help you." My God. Well, I saw it. It was nasty too, man. I had let it go for a while, and it was like an aquarium. There was life in there that was not
sure,
supposed
bro.
to be in there.
I'm
It was
sure.
nasty, dude.
Ugh. Yeah,
It's all good now, though. We good.
Yeah,
We're
but
good.
ladies, also glad you did not break your hip, or at least you said you did not break your
It
hip.
kind of hurts a
You did
little
not break
bit.
your
I'm
hip.
not gonna lie, but I didn't break it. It's just a little stretched. Yeah, my pelvis is sore.
The old
That's
fart.
as much as activity as my pelvis gets these days.
That's about how much, man. This guy to your freaking, this guy right next to you, he like hikes up mountains and.
I know.
fucking-
I know. Here I am cleaning out a hot tub, and I'm almost
Distressing
dead.
Yeah,
shit.
for
We're sitting
warm up.
here- We're sitting here. If we bend, if we bend sideways the wrong way, we fucking strain our
Yep.
muscle for a week.
Yep.
So
Towel off wrong.
keep
and
that
you're done.
energy, baby.
Bless you guys. Bless you. Kevin.
And then Mike, my man, Shinga Mike, what's going on, bro?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Dealing with the children. Like I got the newborn. You know, my wife is back up on her feet and stuff. So it's like a bunch of
Okay.
little kid stuff, man. It's like I gotta go out of my way to find something that doesn't have to do with like little baby stuff. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, just hectic with the kids, watching a lot of movies. I'll split this up. I'll do movies now, and then I'll do games when we play. The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal on Netflix is. It was interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
I was in a certain mindset when I watched it, so it really hit me. Like I was
Okay.
fucking crying and shit, to be quite honest. If I were to be
cool.
real with you guys, yeah, I was
Oh.
like, oh my god, like I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's like a
too.
great actor. I love
Yes.
what he plays in. Is like really hits home to me personally. And it's a good one. I also watched Mortal Kombat, that new Mortal Kombat animated movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. At the end, you get these two, like at the end, man, I'm open-minded usually when I watch stuff like movies and stuff, but at the end, you just get these two moments where you're like, what the fuck is going on? And the first time, it's like a very true feeling. You're like, okay, whatever, let's go with it. And then the other thing happens is mostly at the end when it kind of goes off the rails. And then the other thing happens and you're just like, again, like, are you fucking serious? This is what like is happening? Like, all right, whatever, we'll go with it. But yeah, just watching content and watching movies. I want to go see Venom 2 because that looks baller as shit. I know it won't be like that good, but you know what I mean. It'll be a fun time. I might go see that this week, hopefully.
Cool,
but,
dude.
Yeah, just hanging out with the kids, watching movies and stuff, like shows. There's a new Spider-Man on Disney Plus. It's for little kids, but the animation is so crisp. It's so clean. It's like I don't know how to describe it, like Tonka toy Spider-Man, but like oh man, it's so crisp and it's so clean. The web slings, the movement, it looks so good. It's very well made. And yeah, I want to go watch that Disney, also that Star Wars animated.
Yeah,
thing,
Visions, I think
which
it's
is
called.
like, yeah, that
Completely
looks,
out of the loop on that
It looks
shit,
awesome.
dude.
It looks awesome.
it does look awesome. I've heard some really good things. Like the same people who did Batman Ninja did a episode. They're doing episodes that continue Rise of the Skywalker and shit like that. And I'm just like even not as a big Star Wars fan, like I'm like, hell yeah, that looks dope. Anime,
No,
you know, whatever.
Dude,
But
hey, man.
yeah,
That's the
man,
cool
just
thing,
chilling.
That's
Nice,
the cool thing
dude.
about those anthology things, dude. You can just go wild with those stories.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I feel like Halo kind of is in that same
They have
little
one.
space
They
too.
have one.
Dude, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So like when you have outer space or anything that is like greater than just like a single story, you know what I mean? You could do so much with that. It's like, oh, don't forget, remember while this was happening, like this was also happening. So it fills in the blanks and, you know, it just opens up for a lot of like when you're talking about the galaxy, like a lot of shit can happen. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's really cool, man. It's really cool.
Cool, Mike.
Halo, you know? What
Nice,
about you,
man.
Mo? What you been up to, bro?
Nice, dude. Yeah. It's been a whirlwind, man. You know, the kids are always getting sick, dude. You know, they've had a rough couple months, man. You know, they keep catching shit from these, my daughter's in this ABA program, and and my son, he's in like this early learning thing, you know, that we have him in, and yeah, dude, like every couple of weeks, these kids are catching something, you know. So I mean, it ends up just you go to work, you come home, and then you got to deal with this shit, you know. But it's been good, you know. Otherwise, it's been all right, you know. Trying to game whenever I can, and thankfully football's on, and obviously there's Halo, which we're gonna get into in a bit. But it's been cool, dude. Oh yeah. And speaking of movies and whatever, dude, I'm really excited. I'm going to see the new Bond movie this Saturday.
Fuck
Like,
yeah,
first
Mo.
fucking time in a theater since like
Okay.
2019, man.
Nice.
Like,
That's
late-
going to be an
I think
I
experience.
think like late 2019. Yeah, so
jealous,
it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't. I
I'm
bought like, I
jealous,
fucking
dude.
went balls out too, bro. IMAX, all that shit. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah,
jealous.
I'm doing this.
Ah.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring extra purses or backpacks so you can put them on the seats beside you so people will stay
Oh
away.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I love Daniel Craig.
Dude.
He's my favorite Bond by
Hell
far.
yeah.
Amen.
Hell yeah.
Amen. No, I
Yeah.
did not.
Nice,
I did not
Mo.
know that
Oh
about
no,
you,
bro.
dude.
He's amazing. He's not goofy.
No,
He fucking brings that.
Yeah.
Man,
he's
so
very
stout.
complex.
he's
Yeah.
so stout as a Bond. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, he injects that little flavor of comedy, like just a little bit. You know, like to just show that, to
Sexiness.
just show his sarcasm, but at the
Yes.
same time, he's a
I'm with you.
bad
I'm with
man.
you, dude.
I
I'm
love
with
him,
you,
man.
dude. He's
Yeah,
so
so
nuanced as Bond.
I'm gonna miss him, dude. I'm gonna really
Same.
miss him as Bond.
Same.
Yeah, that series will be iconic once it's complete and over with.
I mean,
like the collector's
yeah.
editions that come out with that will be
Dude, like he has, I mean, already like he has two, at least to me, probably my two favorite Bond movies. Okay, like I mean, before him, to be honest with you, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't really too much into Connery, and I thought Roger Moore looked goofy as fuck. You know, like I mean, all the older movies, I'm like, whatever. You know,
fair.
I didn't really start really paying attention until Pierce Brosnan became James Bond. And his first one, GoldenEye, was probably my favorite one ever.
okay, Mo.
GoldenEye is excellent, man. It's such a good movie. And then Casino Royale came out, and I'm like,
Wipe the floor. Wipe the
That's
floor.
the Dark Knight version of like
Casino
yes,
Royale.
that's
Bonds.
exactly
Oh,
what it was.
truly is.
Man, that is such
Yeah.
a great analogy. Casino Royale is literally the Dark Knight version of these of the James Bond movies. That
Yeah.
came out, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like this shit's for real now.
You know what's crazy too is the director of Casino Royale. I forgot his name. The last Bond movie that he made before Casino Royale was GoldenEye.
Oh, go fucking figure.
Yeah,
Nice.
go figure, right? Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, so, anyway, yeah, and I loved Skyfall. I still think Skyfall
Okay.
is it's up there for me, man. It's
Yeah.
it's an amazing movie. I know a lot of people
Word.
weren't too, you know,
No.
like they got away a little bit from the action and whatnot. I don't agree with
So
that.
good. So
I
good.
thought it was fucking
Skyfall.
amazing. I loved how they went into.
It reminds me of Pierce Brosnan on one of the interview shows was saying that after he gave up the role there, right, and Daniel Craig took it, he was actually doing like a Broadway musical, and and they were at an award show, and he was just looking at Craig going, "Fuck." You're Bond now,
It's a different-
and I'm in a leotard.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shizzle,
yeah.
you're a man of culture, bro. You are a man of culture.
Yeah,
That's why.
he's so interesting as Bond.
Yeah,
He's
he
so
is.
nuanced. He's broken, but he's also
Yeah, the
Yes.
alcoholism and
yes.
Yes.
And he's not. I was reading an interview because he did that whole thing with GQ, how they always try to, because Bond's always been kind of a misogynist, you know, but they always try to cast him alongside this female that's like a total badass.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
like, it's just, I don't know. Skyfall is probably my favorite too. I'm with you, man. That friggin' that Shanghai scene when they're fighting behind that jellyfish
Oh my god.
display. Just the cinematography.
What an
Sam
unbelievable
Raimi. Sam
movie.
Raimi is
I can't
friggin' awesome,
believe
dude.
people. I'm like, what did you watch that I did not?
Yeah.
I've seen Skyfall like 5 times, man. I'll see it another 5 times.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm with you. Well, I'm excited for you, man. I want to see No Time to Die so badly.
Yeah. So that's definitely, I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah. So I got that coming up, and then let's get into see what you guys are playing, man. Let me start with you,
boy.
Jordan.
Oh boy.
What have you been
boy.
playing, bro?
oh boy.
Yeah, man.
This guy's played like 10 games.
It's been a while. I've played a lot of fucking games, man. I won't talk about Halo yet because we'll all get into that. But since we last spoke, I did finish Deathloop. I did get the platinum in Deathloop as well. Yeah, that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun.
Nice.
That's kind of fun. Yeah, what an awesome freaking game that is. It's definitely in my top 5 for game of the year. I keep kind of refreshing my list as far as where things are in there. But the experience of that game, I wish I could just go back already and just play it again for the first time. Yeah, don't sleep on that game, guys, please, Mo. Beyond that, I did.
I'm not,
That was
man.
good. That was
I'm
good.
not,
That
I
was slick. He
swear
almost
I'm
missed
not.
it. It was so smooth.
Kane is here, squirrel. I have not touched Kana, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah.
I did, Game Pass just keeps throwing stuff out for all of us to play. I wrapped up Superliminal. I'm still working my way through I Am Fish, which is frustrating me at this point. I don't know if I'll finish that. But recently, a whole mess of JRPGs got dropped into the service there.
Yeah.
After the Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet Nexus. I didn't think I would be playing this game. I played the demo, and the combat was cool. I don't like this art style of doing these cinematics and stories in terms of like a storyboard-esque kind of manga thing. Because when there are cutscenes, they're phenomenal. I'm like, the animation is so cool here. Give me the whole thing in cutscenes. But I'm 6 hours in now, and I'm actually enjoying it. And I'm not saying I would never play this game if it wasn't for Game Pass, but I wouldn't play this game if it wasn't for Game Pass.
You wouldn't.
It's true.
It's it's just the convenience. I'm like, this isn't going to be a Game Pass tangent or anything like that. But if I'm going to play a game, if I'm going to buy a game, I'm going to buy a game, and I'm going to need to commit myself to playing it and completing it. That's just how I am. And I'm glad I was able to try this out, dude. So I will finish this game. There's 2 playthroughs you have to do, I think, with 2 different characters. I don't know what that's like, but it's cool, man. Mike, you might like it if you haven't checked it out yet.
I played the demo after Mo mentioned it.
Yeah.
So
I was just about to say, I'm sorry. I was going to say Hassan. Yeah, he loves this game, man.
I know he does.
He's the reason I bought the game, and I still haven't played it. He's the reason I bought the Steelbook too. But my fucking son Hassan, I love him, man.
Yeah, Hassan, again, you hyped it up, man, and I think you're hitting it so far, dude. I'm agreeing with you. It's a fun friggin' game. Like the opening, they do a proper like anime intro intro after you beat this first prologue, and it's actually pretty freaking sweet, dude. It's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
But it follows a lot of those, like, anime tropes with a lot of the writing and the characters. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cringy at times, but I'm enjoying it overall. And I think that's I finished Ghost of Tsushima. That was another thing. I finished
Nice.
that story took me places, and it made me feel things. I was not expecting that.
You just finished
Oh,
the
yeah.
main line, not the Iki
Finished the main
Island.
line.
Okay.
Finished the main line. I started Iki, but yeah, that ending was something special.
What
Yeah.
you said, it made you feel things. Elaborate, please.
I won't, so without spoiling
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
that's what we do here. I just didn't. I'm trying to think of the last time. Okay, no, I got it right now. The last time I played an open world game that really made me, resonate with these characters and be emotional was probably the first Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I felt. That's how I finished this game.
Wow.
You
Okay.
You get
Wow.
the writing. I was a lot more impressed with the writing. I did not expect it to be, to care about these people as much as I did. The arcs, the choices you have to make, the situations they're in. I'm like, it's high fucking stakes, and it was awesome. And it's a beautiful game. Some of those final scenes in that game are something special. Iki Island, I had to step away from because I started kind of getting the gameplay loop getting a little bit samey for me, and Kevin was kind of saying,
Sure.
"Hey,
Sure.
start playing something that's more linear." And
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a break. Come back.
I did. So I played Astrobot's Playroom, and I beat that. That was a cool little fucking platformer.
Yeah, it was
So,
good.
I think what's next for me is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for-
that should
for
be.
open
And you're
world.
playing it at the right time too, considering
Yeah, dude.
that they just enhanced it. So that's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Shizno just mentioned here in the chat he got that game Xuan Wan.
The fuck is
don't-
that?
It's a Chinese game apparently, and it just came out on Xbox, and I've been seeing it, and it looks pretty cool, man. Like the reviews were,
Okay.
but I mean that hasn't stopped me before, but. Yeah, man. Like he's like the first human that I know on Twitter that I
We're not sure he's actually
fucking
human.
bought the
though.
game. So I'm glad to see that.
He may not be human.
Sean
We're
Ward.
assuming. We're assuming. Shizno.
Because he bought a game nobody has played yet. Shizno, I feel you, man. I appreciate it. You're gonna make me buy another game.
Oh God.
But yeah, dude, I'm glad you finished the Ghost, and
Yeah.
so you would at least would you agree like with the critical reception that it's received?
I would, man. And I know you stepped away from it for a bit, but yeah, get back to it because that story wraps up beautifully, man.
Okay.
It really
No,
does.
that's good, man.
It
Yeah,
really
I know.
does.
I should. I know. It's just again, I was telling you before, it's my play style. It's unfortunate. Is that it, Mike? Is that the
Yeah, I
game that
think
Shizzle's
so.
gonna make me buy? God damn
I
it!
think so.
Yes,
I know,
it
right?
is.
Like, what the hell's
God
happening?
Damn it, bro! And look
Holy
at this. He
shit.
just dropped another gem over here, getting a physical release October 12th.
cool.
Bro, it is on.
Oh my
Done.
god!
Pre-ordered
It's that
right after
easy.
the show.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. If you guys know, you know.
God damn, Mo.
Look at this. It's not even the best looking.
Look!
of
Look!
the
Look! Oh, that was my
You know what?
ex-wife. You
You know
guys
what?
missed it. Sorry.
No, this is a Souls-like, dude. I'm telling you, this is like a
Oh,
Oh
Souls.
wait,
no.
I'll be able to answer that.
This
But
is like a
well, he
Souls
told me.
game.
Well, the good thing is he said like it's not difficult. So
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know about Souls like or whatever. You know what, bro? I don't give a fuck. I beat Ghost Runner, man. I don't care. All right.
Oh, okay.
Shit. Oh,
excuse me.
shit.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, baby.
You know what, man? Everyone hangs their goddamn hats on Souls games. I'm gonna
They
hang
do.
my hat on Ghost Runner.
I spoke about that the other night. That's so true, man. You should.
Oh,
You should. That's
shit,
a tough
man,
game,
that's
man.
freaking hilarious. Oh shit! Is
tough-
that Carlo? Carlo, what is up, brother? Good to see you here, man. And everybody else, Sarko as well. Sarko, I know you're saying this in your
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger voice right now, man.
Yeah.
How are you?
How are
Thanks for
you?
showing up.
Morning.
If you guys like seeing Mo
Okay.
impulsively buy shit, go ahead and like
Yep.
and subscribe so that he'll
yeah.
buy more shit
100%,
impulsively.
100%.
Unfortunately. Oh yeah. So Kevin, what have you been
Yo.
playing, man? Besides your recent obsession with Avengers?
It is not an obsession.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
All right,
It was
all
for
right.
me, Kev. It's okay,
like-
bro. I've been there. I'm there.
It's
Mike.
God damn it!
I'm still addicted to it if I play it.
It has. No, I'm not going to talk about Avengers. Let's not talk about Avengers because then no. Mike's talked enough about Avengers on the show for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about
We'll
Avengers.
talk about it later
Don't
anyway.
get-
So.
don't get him started,
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about Halo Infinite. I'm ashamed to say it, but I also stopped playing Deathloop for a little while. I have to get back in there because I started playing Death Stranding.
Look at the disappointment. on Jordan's face.
I know. And I got into Death Stranding for a little bit, and then I stopped playing that because of Halo. And there's just too much. Oh, Jordan left. He's that
He'll be back.
disappointed in me.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he disappointed in that bad.
He's that disappointed in me. He
fucking
just
son.
left. But there's just too much to fucking play right now, man. Like I get ADD when I'm trying to figure out what console I want to play, what fucking game I want to play. Oh shit, what fucking game I want to play, and yeah, so that's why I queue up Avengers and just hit shit randomly in the same fucking levels over and over again, and beat the same robots I've beat 10,000 times over and over again ad nauseum. But there's just so much out there. I'm really excited for some of the games that are coming up. Yeah, I've just kind of been playing little bits and pieces of all these games. I was really digging Death Stranding, and I'm gonna have to finish that game because the story is just starting to open up a little bit. I'm about to make it to the port, and I remember that that's kind of when I meet Fragile, and then it starts to open up a little bit more. But boy, the graphics are amazing, the gameplay is amazing, the 60 FPS is amazing. I really, really like that game, and it makes me kind of wonder, like, what happened. Like, I think it could have done so much better. But Deathloop was amazing too. However, it started crashing on me, and I got
damn.
so fucking frustrated because I would have to start that level over again, and I was done with that for a while. It was frustrating me to the point that I was going to hate it if I didn't drop it. So I dropped it and queued up Death Stranding. But Halo Infinite has really kind of been what I try to jump into, and then the fucking Avengers, man. I don't know what it is about that goddamn game.
Comfort food for you, Kevin.
Why?
He won't admit it. He won't admit it. Just say it's your comfort food. Just admit it. You love
Right
it.
now, all right.
I won't
So
make fun of you. At least not
okay.
for a long time.
All right,
Promise.
it is my comfort food. It was always something, right? It was like COD or Destiny 2,
Yeah.
and now Avengers has filled this spot, and the combat's pretty satisfying. I finished the story, so like everything else is complete and utter garbage. The game is just the traversal sucks. The levels are bland. Nothing. I'm playing the same missions over and over again. Oh my god! But I keep playing. So yeah, there's a lot of loot. They do that well, and you get to collect a lot of shit. So and it's on Game Pass. So a lot of people are playing it, so it's easy to fill up your teams and shit if you want to play now. And people are actually, I'm seeing a lot of posts of people going, hey, the game's not as bad as they thought it was. So that's cool. I'm glad it's getting a little bit more traction. And yeah, I haven't spent any money except for the base game. I haven't even bought any skins yet. So see, I'm not that addicted.
Good,
all right? I'm not like Mike, who's probably like $6,000 in.
Yo,
No, I have definitely spent enough money to be like, I could quit this game and give you the bird and be okay with that.
have you put 300 hours into Avengers?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I put in way more than that.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Let's just say hit
great
one.
feat, man.
I'm just
I thought
saying
you'd get him.
1K at least. I put at least a 900 hours in that bitch.
Oh
No doubt
wow.
about it.
Oh wow. Oh damn. Okay. All right.
I mean, I used to do YouTube for it, so
Yeah, I know,
feel
man.
like
I
that's
know.
kind of
I know. That is true. I know.
But I feel like Kevin is explaining exactly like how I felt doing it and like coming off to the end of it, where it's just like it's fun and I like being the heroes, but it's like there's something that's not like completely being like, yo, this is awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's a testament to those games or not, because like they keep you coming back for more. There must be some sort of hook there, because like I'm in chat with Kevin and Kevin's like, I'm still on this fucking mission for like 2 hours. It just won't end.
man.
And he's like,
Self-flagellation.
I'm still
man.
playing.
Yeah.
He's still going. He's like, Jordan, I don't know. I'm just.
I know, and then I kept playing, and I fucking finally beat that mission, the beating the odds mission, with that stupid fucking Dark Souls whole level wipe if you don't fucking get the bitch in time. Fuck that woman. All right, Monica can just
Yeah, I
go
know
to
what you're talking
hell. Yes, you do know what I'm talking about. That was
do.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
this is
anyway,
fantastic.
yes, it is. It is like Destiny 2, where you just like you're like, God, this game sucks, and you keep going, and God, this game sucks, and you just keep going. It's like, yeah, man. It's like it's just fucking. They
something,
know,
there's
man. They
something.
know
Yeah,
all the
they
little
know.
sounds, all the gear,
Yeah.
all that shit. It
Oh, yeah.
gets you, man. But
Yeah, of course.
either way, hey, whatever. It could be worse, man. I could be going back to my old habits of, heroin and hookers.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Thank God
is
Avengers.
slightly above that. Yes, praise Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, hey, baby.
Heroin Hookers Avengers. Yeah. Oh shit, that's awesome, man. That's good.
Gosh.
All right. Well, so now that Kevin has finally let us know that he loves the Avengers indirectly. Mike, what have you been playing, man?
Quite a few things as well. Jordan, it's funny you mentioned Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, so speaking of Japanese demons, okay, I played Ghost of Tsushima because I'm at the one part that happens at the end, and like I need to finish it off, basically.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned that too, Jordan, about like the story beats hitting you the way they hit you or whatever, especially the way you played it. I feel like you get more of it the way you played it, like kind of straight through the story and stuff. Like for me, I was like getting every single icon, trying to clear everything out, beat everything, upgrades, all that shit. But by the time you do a bunch of that stuff, you lose the meaning, you lose the power behind the
100%,
story when you're
100% true.
like, you do get these cool little like moments, of course, when you go out of your way and do like those mystic quests and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
but
Big
I feel like
picture.
the big picture, the overall story is kind of like what it's set in to do. You know what I mean? Sucker Punch, right? They do a great job, man. I loved Infamous Second Son. Like, it was so unique in its own right, and like more people should play it, by the way. So anyway, so I played it for like 10 minutes, and I got into some fights, and I was like, you know what? This is why I don't like Ghost of Tsushima. The one thing is because combat is not that good compared to Neo 2. I literally put on Ghost of Tsushima. I fought me a few dudes, whatever, and I just could not help myself but to put on Neo 2 because Neo 2 has a little bit more of that like crunch. It's a lot more meatier. It's not as floaty. It is very, I mean, it's linear, you know what I'm saying? But you have a stance, like pretty much the same little thing from Neo. You got bombs and magic and all this stuff. And I played that a few nights, and I literally had that feeling to where I was like, holy shit, why did I stop playing this game? You can counter demons. You can team up with two other dudes, and dude, it's just it's a good time. They like really smoothed out all the multiplayer stuff with that, which is great. But anyways, yeah, Neo 2, I've been playing that a little bit with my buddy. Warzone, of course, getting so fucking tired of that game, but I can't help it, like Kevin about Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Sorry.
Like, it's fun,
The only
but
way
shit.
to quit Warzone is to quit
to
cold
delete
turkey. I
Delete
told
it.
you.
Uninstall.
I told you. I'm telling you, man.
Uninstall, and then
16
go to-
months I haven't touched that game. That's the
Yeah,
only
go to
way
the
we're going
bathroom.
to do it.
Pick
Yeah.
a drawer and just slam your dick into it over and over and over again, and then
That's what
and
it feels like
over.
playing for 3 hours and losing against all these fucking
Yeah.
cheaters,
Oh,
man.
That's another thing too, man. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool because I mean, whatever. Battlefield says like, oh, no mercy on cheaters. Like, okay, whatever. Anyways, and then I played Miles Morales. I started
Okay.
up. I thought it was a good time because I played Spider-Man and then they announced 2, and I was like, oh shit! Like, my timing is like, oh my god, it's omnipotent, it's omnipotent, and then so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Miles Morales. I don't really have anything to play right now, even though like Kena and all that Deathloop shit is out.
Had you ever
like,
played it, or was this your first
No.
time?
No, I
it's a good
haven't,
game.
Kevin. I remember you talking about
Story's
it.
really good. Story's really
Dude, holy
Right?
smokes. It is like the first 30 minutes, bro. You literally get these feelings of just like, wow, this is cool as shit. Because like, I'll just kind of explain it. This is like no spoilers or whatever, maybe a little bit. But in the first like major fight, like you have Spider-Man fighting Rhino in your arena kind of, and they like dip in and like go out of the way and like come back and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was well done.
Dude, the fucking web slinging is like that next graded like sequel level. The web slinging, the venom punches like add so much to the combat. And I was telling Jordan earlier, like last week or something, I'm like, Spider-Man's combat ain't no joke, man. Like, especially
it's
if you're
good.
playing the higher difficulties and the DLC, especially the DLC starts to bring in that combat where you are on your toes. You are clicking buttons and you're on your toes, you know? Miles Morales brings that, man. And with that Venom Punch and all the little additions, you're just like, you start to see what is opening up for like the Marvel, like whatever Insomniac's doing universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is great. It is, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, that is some juicy meat right there, baby. Because the implications that could be done to Wolverine, whatever the team ups they do. Oh my God. Anyways, Miles Morales was a good time, man. It was such a good time. I was like, this could be better than the first one. Like,
Yeah,
mechanics
good,
wise,
Yeah,
story
I liked it
wise.
better than the first one.
The one thing I would say though is that I'm about less than 10 hours in, and I played it straight through the story, and I'm already at the final mission, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh, I
short.
like,
It's
yeah,
short.
I wanted to stay back and like kind of like stretch it out a little bit, and I'll probably beat the story. I don't know if I'll come back to it. I know it's probably easy platinum, but you know, but holy shit, like I was not expecting it to be like that type of experience
That's
for
good,
me.
man.
And yeah, that first hour I was just thinking about, like, I remember Kevin like mentioning this and I didn't understand what he was talking about, but
Yeah,
now
it
I
was
do.
good.
Like,
It was
yeah,
good.
it's so
And I
cool.
was so afraid it was going to be like some teenager bullshit, and it kind of was, but they
Yeah.
kept it real, you know. So yeah, no, it totally resonated. And after playing those two Spider-Man games, this is why I'm not excited for, you know, waiting on the Spider-Man on Avengers, because there's no way it's gonna feel as
Yeah.
good as
No
those.
way.
There's no
Exactly.
fucking way.
It'll be cool,
So,
but it won't be like
Yeah, no.
that. Right. Uh-huh.
There's no Insomniacs or Wizards for sure.
Yeah, speaking of the teenager thing, Kev, like Miles does come off like, come on, bro, like you're super straight, like I get it, you're new. I don't know. There's just so many good little comic nuances to it. Like, oh, like I'm the only Spider-Man, like my responsibility of the city, and it's like, yeah, bro. And the story is good because it's personal, like it's personal to Miles, and it's way different from Into the Spider-Verse, which is great because you want to expand those stories, get people to like see that there's a different side than just like the mainstream stuff or whatever. And it's really good. And then the final thing, I'll end it here. Sorry, guys. I played Halo fucking 1, bro. I jumped
Wow.
back into that.
Nice.
So I played it and then I stopped it for a bit and I was like, okay, cool. It's old, but whatever. This time it's like, no, it's old. I cannot believe this shit existed back in the day. That's how good of a time. Like, it's a new experience. It's not just a game. It's an experience. Why
It
I
is.
tell you? Because they don't give you maps. They don't give you direction. It's not like that, bro. It is like, dude, it is the defining first-person shooter back in the day and even today. That's why Halo Infinite is going to be so big. I don't know who the fuck is sitting there saying Halo Infinite is not going to be popular because of no Battle Royale.
After
Whatever.
1 month, after
Whatever, man. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just do not agree with that. Whatever. So I met the Flood, and I started getting into the lore, and I was like, these dudes who made these like space odysseys and these like alien type of stories, like I am just like, praise Ridley Scott, my guys, because Alien 1, Kev, I was thinking about you so fucking much this week. I'm like, that's why Kev likes aliens and this sci-fi, because they are the
Yes.
epitome. Before that shit even existed, before anybody even had like a like an idea bigger than like, oh, I'll just shoot a movie on Earth. Like, no, we're going to shoot a movie in another space, like there's different life forms and all this stuff. Like Halo molds all that together in this perfect like recipe. I don't know what it is, on top of being like, and I have these little soft spots in my hearts for like defining video game moments. You know, like Mortal Kombat making the rating system. Halo was the first-person shooter that made first-person shooters, like, very popular. I wouldn't really say Doom. I would say Halo, at least to me. But Doom is up there as well. Anyways, I'm showing respect basically to Halo 1 because the jumping sucks though, by the way. Take some of that back. The jumping still, yeah, it's like floaty, not responsive.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take some of that back
Dated,
as well
dated.
because I am using one of those like really cheap ass Xbox controllers, so it's just like, hello. You know what I mean? Might be my controller. But Halo 1 is just fantastic, man. And I always thought of it as a game just to be like, oh, it's just the first person shooter for the multiplayer. And I didn't really care for the lore. But now I'm into the lore, man. And I am just like watching hour-long YouTube videos while I'm doing shit around the house and be like, whoa, Master Chief killed 2 or 3 ODST people when he was 14? Because of like a little weight room accident. I'm like, yo, Master Chief, beat that ass, son.
People have no idea how deep that lore is. I'm
It's
telling
so
you,
good.
bro. It
It's
is
so good.
amazing. It's amazing when people actually dive into it. There's so much lore in Halo that a lot have just, man, it's amazing. I'm telling you, if you guys start watching videos and whatever, you don't have to read or whatever, because there's a lot of videos out there that kind of like consolidate all those
Right.
all those stories in there. But man, yeah, especially like Chief's story and about how he was abducted and the whole Spartan program thing. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
amazing.
by the way, that is called Project Orion, which I
Yeah.
thought was
God,
so
Mike got in
badass.
deep.
I'm telling you, man, it's really cool. It's really cool. Like
It's so. Oh, go ahead, Bo. Go ahead.
no, just
Okay, I was gonna say it's so deep that if you were to try to go in there with not a lot of knowledge, you'd get lost a little bit. Because that's how I felt whenever I tried to get back into it a few months ago. I was like, dude, I just don't know why robots are fighting aliens or like who these factions are really. But I guess kind of like I've slowly understood certain things, and it just the more I get into it, the more it makes sense, and it feels like I'm back into that Mortal Kombat, like I'm learning shit or whatever.
Yeah.
It is great, dude, and I see why people like Joey and stuff like write about it and think about it all
Yeah.
the time
Oh,
because
yeah.
it is that good, man.
It is.
It really is, dude.
It is.
Having a good
Sar-
time with it.
Sarko, to answer you, they were ODST. I don't think they were set up, man, because he was coming in. He was actually minding his own business, and the ODST grunts, a few guys were there. Their commanding officer, see, they started fucking with him, right? They started picking on him. Their commanding officer sanctioned the wrestling match that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because because he was a young guy, and he was standing up for himself. And you know, the ODST at the time were the premier guys, so he sanctioned this fight to kind of teach him a lesson, right? To put him in his place. I don't think he knew that he was gonna. Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Murk
don't think
him,
he
basically.
knew that he was going to do what he did, because nobody knew what he was capable of at the time, including their commanding officer.
Right,
So,
and that's why they sanctioned the bout or whatever, because they wanted to see like what new Spartans could possibly do. And Master Chief done wipe the floor with these
Yeah,
bros.
but he wasn't coming to fight though. He wasn't there to fight. That's the thing. Like I remember, if you guys want, like look up Halo Canon as well. I swear that it mentions it was a setup. Master Chief didn't know. Johnson
Yeah.
or Avery. Oh, okay. Maybe I have to
So
go back
this
to it
is-
because
This is the story I got, is that Master Chief was trying to understand his body by testing the gravity or something. So he pulls a pin from one of the weights and he goes into the gravity room and he's doing all these calculations or something. And the ODST dudes come in, they try to lift the weight and the weight falls, and Master Chief approaches them and he's like, oh fuck, sorry guys, like I'm trying to do this thing or whatever. But yes, Mo, you are
wasn't
right.
looking-
Like,
he wasn't
Yeah.
looking for a fight, because even in Hunt the Truth, if you listen to Hunt the Truth season 1, that is mentioned, and he does report Benjamin Giraud, who's the main protagonist in Hunt the Truth. He mentions that it was sanctioned by their commanding officer. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll fucking stay hours if we end up talking about Halo lore, but yeah.
it's so cool.
Anyway, yeah, me really quick, and what I'm gonna do is because we already have Kana as the first topic, I'm just gonna kind of roll into it, you know, because I'm the only one I think on this panel that has played it so far. I played Kana. I obviously played Halo, which we'll touch on. Kana is Jordan. Did I play anything else, or that's it?
No, you just played
I think that's
Kana and
In Halo.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it,
that's
man. Yeah.
Oh, I did get back into Ghost Runner. I will never ever stop singing about
Yeah.
Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner is now fully enhanced for the new consoles. It's amazing. I haven't touched it since I finished it last year at launch. It felt like It felt like riding a fucking bike. I know it's a tough game, but I swear to God, man, I'm telling you, like I got like half. I just did the introductory mission, and I got half the deaths 1 year later
Good.
than the deaths that I got last year when I first played it. I'm like, wow.
Good, man.
Okay, so
That's cool.
if you guys
good.
have not played Ghost Runner, please play it. It's amazing. It's on sale. It's so fun, fast, and fluid. Patience and reflexes will be required because it is a difficult game, but it is very doable.
Stellar soundtrack too.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is incredible too. Oh yeah. So I did play Kena. To roll into it, it's good, man. I'm really enjoying it. You know, I did see, you know, some of the criticisms as well, and you know, about it being repetitive and whatnot. But it's sitting currently at an 81 on on OpenCritic. I'm sorry. It was initially like an 85, and it started just to go down a little bit. I don't know how much people were expecting from this. You know, it's a game made by an indie studio that's comprised of 16 people. When I play the game and I see what an amazing job they did with just 16 people, and it's a lot bigger than I thought the game would be. It's a bigger map. It's filled with it's got Metroidvania qualities to it as well. There's going to be areas that you can't get into or you can't really access until you actually unlock like certain things, or if you pick up you know, they call them like mail letters or whatnot to be able to get into whatever. And then there are abilities, you know, like you'll see like these rocks that are just sitting there, but they glow blue. Like you'll see them when you first start the game, you know, or you'll see these flowers that open up and you'll be able to shoot an arrow to them, but you don't have the arrow, so you can't access those areas. And you don't have the ability to make these rocks float up so you can jump on top of them. So that is something I really appreciated, because initially I just thought this game was going to be point A to point B. And it's not, you know, I mean, technically it is, but still, it's a big map. It has some larger areas, and there's different ways of accessing, you know, different the areas as well. It plays very solid. You've played this game before, you know, I mean, it's not going to do anything new, but once again, like, I mean, the whole point of it is the fact that it's a very, very polished, well done third-person action game that is also beautiful to look at. It's always a pleasure to play this game just because of the visuals. It's such a beautiful game to play and to see. And again, it's not rewriting anything in particular. You know, again, I don't know what people really were expecting, you know, coming into it. Where it's sitting right now on OpenCritic at an 81 is actually very, very admirable for a studio this small, you know, and for what they've managed to do. The combat mechanics are solid. Yeah, some of the enemies do get repetitive a bit, but the boss battles are fucking hard. They don't actually give you there's no primer for the boss battles, man. Like, I mean, they are the difficulty increases like significantly when you get to some of these boss battles, and you're just not prepared for that, because a lot of the regular grunts that you run into are kind of like, you know, there's good enemy variety, but you're going to run into that same variety all the time. Sure. You know what I mean? So, but the boss battles, you're not prepared for that. Like, I mean, they get tough. They get tough. They mollywop you, man. I'm telling you, they really do. I swear to God, man, they do. They mollywop you. But
hell yeah.
Outside of that, like, yeah, I'm about 10 hours into the game. I think I got a few hours left, so it's not short. You know, it's a $40 game. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure how much. Then again, like, that's all subjective. You know, we've talked about that before, how much value you get out of a game or whatever. $40 game, I'm expecting somewhere between 10 and 15 hours. So, like, that's just my interpretation on it. So I'm already at 10. I'm still not done with the game. I think I still have a few hours left, you know, because I just opened up a brand new area. You know what I mean? So, but it's very, very charming, man. It's a very charming game. The story is very heartfelt, especially with these two little fuckers. If you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, it's sweet. It's a sweet story. And I'm still not done with it yet. So, yeah, I mean, again, like, it's not rewriting anything, but I think you'll enjoy it. It's just that for me, it feels like comfort food, because these are games that we used to play when I was younger. Like, I'm talking about the Prince of Persia days, you know, like the Ubisoft days, like, or like the older, you know, we've played these games. You know, like, we've played these types of games before, but it's just it's nice to see it made again in this day and age, you know, when we're just demanding so much out of video games, and, you know, in terms of mechanics and visuals and whatnot. And it's nice to see something that I don't want to say is simplistic, but it reminds me of those simplistic days. Sure. You know what I mean? Because the combat itself is honestly admirable. Again, you know, like, I mean, there are different things that you do unlock for it, but that's pretty much my take on it. You know, I mean, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I'm still playing it. I'm enjoying it. I did pre-order that physical edition. I'm so happy they caved and they finally made a physical edition, because initially that was not in the works, but so many people just begged them for it. So I'm glad that that at least you know, it's getting its that release. Nix, I do agree with you too. People were expecting Ratchet and Clank type of polish and presentation. Many were hyping it up. I do agree with that. To be honest with you, that's why I kept saying, I'm not sure what it is that people were expecting, but I will tell you, Nix, the level of polish this game has for 16 people that worked on it is incredible. I'm telling you, dude, it's really, really fascinating how polished and how good this game looks. Like, if I was to tell you that 16 people made this game and you had no idea, you'd be like, there's no fucking way. You know, there's no way. Not because of how deep the mechanics are or whatnot, but just visually, it's just gorgeous. But yeah. And the music too. Yeah, Bad Bit over here said it as well. What's up, baby? So anyway, yeah. Oh, also today, we will be giving away a copy of Kena, because I didn't get to mention it in the beginning of the show. We were actually supposed to do this last week, but we didn't do a show last week. So it'll be either a copy of Kena on the PS5, or it will be Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, because we're all really looking forward to that on your platform of choice. So just a heads up for you guys in here. Okay, so that's it for Kena, and then we are going to get into I was gonna talk about we got a lot to talk about, man. I was gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, previews. Yeah. I think Mike, I'll leave it to you, man, because I know that's like your thing, I mean, I saw the previews. I don't want to touch on it too much because we have a lot of other topics, but I like what I see, right? Like, I kept my pre-order. Initially I'm like, okay, I pre-ordered the game because of the steelbook, the cool extra steelbook. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? But now after I saw these previews, I'm like, okay, this looks like something I could possibly get into. It doesn't look like it might be as. I'm sorry, it doesn't look like it's gonna bore me like the Avengers, maybe. But what do you?
Shots fired.
Look who I'm talking to too. Mike, your mic is muted.
My bad.
Look who I'm talking to. I'm telling both of them as well. It's hilarious. But Mike, what do you think about this so far? Like, at least from what you've seen.
I think it looks savvy. I think it'll be a good time. I think one thing that they're doing differently here is that they're keeping you one character, and then your other teammates are like the powers in a way. Right. Even though Star-Lord has a bunch of different kind of ammo stuff or whatever. And that's like his shtick, like a flying, and then he has like his guns can do any type of ammo that he like wants them to do is like his thing. Some space tech or some shit, But yeah, I do think that that's what the new thing is. And like, I'm very iffy on it. I was thinking about it today earlier, and I was like, would I want to see that in more games? Yes, it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to have to play to really understand what they're doing with it. It does seem like it could be a good idea, but like, because basically what I'm saying, like, if it works in Guardians of the Galaxy, like, what makes them go the opposite way of Avengers and be like, no, let's just give them a team, but they play as one person, but they use the team as like this tactical strategist kind of thing. Like Final Fantasy VII does it a little bit, I think. I don't really know, but that is a new thing that they're doing. And I also just want to hit on the people doing this is Eidos Montreal, right? And I just want to say about Marvel, it's just like, that's kind of cool what they're doing. They're like, yo, make a Marvel game. Oh, try to make a Marvel game. See what you can do, XCOM guys or whatever. So like, Marvel's got their shit in everything. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more different types of things instead of like your basic like Batman Arkham like turned Marvel or whatever, like Spider-Man. I don't know. It's hard to really like put your ticket on that, because it's just like Marvel's going to send their shit out to everybody and anybody, and it's who of them as the creator to make the type of game that they want to make. And yeah, they're doing different stuff. I'm definitely going to get it. and it looks fun. Yeah, I don't know, but that whole team thing, like, very particular. If that doesn't work, I guess is what I'm saying. If that doesn't work, then I'll be like, oh, okay.
Right.
Like, that wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was. Like, the power attack, use Drax, like R2 and triangle, slam down, shoot him in the air. Get Grimoire to, like, R2 and square, slice him up with her sword. Like, and I'm trying to, like, think of that loop, you know, and I'm expecting it pretty linear. I'm not expecting, like, this open world, whatever, like planets and Destiny style shit. Like, I'm just expecting this level, this mission, this level, this mission, what have you. But yeah, it will be, if it's good, it'll only be better for the game, and it'll be one of those things where it's like, I didn't expect it to be that good, which in turn makes it even better. And that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, Mike. I hope it's like a cult classic, if you will. It's kind of where I think you're getting at there.
Yeah, and then I think with more of the Marvel games and the rosters that it has per game, it'll be like, oh, that Guardians of the Galaxy game. Like, oh, that fucking Midnight Suns game.
Yeah.
Avengers. Avengers!
Yeah. Kevin, did you have something you wanted to add? I know there was something you wanted to add about Guardians.
Not really. I think Mike touched on it. I'm gonna need to play this thing. Like, I don't know what to expect. Is it like Mass Effect, or is it like Final Fantasy? Is it, you know what threw me off? It's so fucking stupid. It's a stupid like combo hit counter on the left hand side of the screen. That shit drove me crazy. I don't want to see that shit. Like, that's totally immersion breaking to me. But maybe it'll be good.
Interesting.
Maybe it'll be good. I know that just totally rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it was. I just don't like it. It screams that whole Final Fantasy kind of thing, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I'm good. And the Star-Lord's boring as fuck. Most boring character ever. I don't want to play as him. I don't. I mean, it might turn out to be really good, but he's fucking boring.
I know what you mean, Kevin. I feel like how much can you do with the whole, like, you know, just dual wield gun kata pistol combat the whole time? You know,
Rocket boots, fucking. What he's gonna kill people with his snarky remarks.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever. I'm done with that. Next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's about it for that.
I'll let this run while we.
Yeah, so let me see. What are we? Oh yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, I got nothing else to say about this too. I did add Death Stranding on here just to really mention it really quick. I was happy to see that the director's cut, the new Death Stranding director's cut, got an 86 on OpenCritic, and it was actually reviewed higher than the original game at launch. So obviously all of the additions that they made to the game clearly resonated with the reviewers, and I'm seeing a lot of people that didn't play it at release as well playing it now, which is good. If you've already been following, you know, the game itself, you know, you already know like all the additions that they did, including like that 9-minute trailer that they showed for the additions, the extra additions, and the quality of life improvements. I haven't gotten to it yet. I know Kevin's been playing it. I did beat the game at launch. It's one of my favorite games of the last generation. I think it's a remarkable game, actually. And the only reason I wanted to mention it is I tweeted about this last week, about Death Stranding, or maybe it was this week. I can't remember. I don't feel like I think it was very superficially tagged as a delivering walking simulator or FedEx or whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you played the game and it didn't resonate with you, you know, fine, you know, that's fair, you know, because the game does demand some patience, right? But the thing I did not like is when people just superficially tagged it as something that it's absolutely not. It's so methodical in the way that you have to approach the gameplay. It's not delivering. You are delivering, but what you're doing, how you're carrying it, the terrain, how you have to manage the weight and go around the BTs and everything else that you need to do. It is unbelievable. And on top of that, just the entire message itself, right? I think a lot of people too, just because of what Kojima said himself, and you know, when he said like, you know, this isn't really for the U.S. audience because U.S. audience likes shooters. I think a lot of it does get misinterpreted in the way that it's said. You know, I mean, I don't think he was calling people dumb. I do agree with him in terms of the audience itself and why it didn't resonate with so many people. And I can point at something like Deathloop, or I can point at all of the Arcane games themselves, right? Like, I mean, those types of games that just require a more cerebral aspect. And again, it doesn't mean that people are dumb. It's just because they don't want to invest that kind of time into these games, right? And I don't disagree with him. However, if that is something that, if it's not up your alley, that's fine. But I'm glad to see that there's so many people that are playing this game now and are appreciating it, because the story is fucking amazing. I'll be honest with you, man. You guys know me, right? Like, I mean, I normally, like, for games or whatever, I'm just like, whatever. It's the only video game I can ever recall in my entire life that made me cry at the end. And I don't know why that did it. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a father now. Maybe I wouldn't have, had I not had kids. I really don't know. But the story just stays with you, and everything that happens really is just it's phenomenal. And now with all of the quality of life additions that they did, I really would love, Kevin, I want to see your take on this, because you're seeing it, because you're playing it now. And I know the initial hours of the game, the initial chapters they do require a lot more patience. And I know that the things that they added now actually do help out with that, in terms of like the slingshot or getting your shit across the map or whatever it is. So that's really what I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see whether those actually help out the initial chapters, specifically chapter fucking 3, which is, yeah. But anyway, that's like my Death Stranding TED Talk. What do you think, Kevin? Yeah.
Well, other than all the dumb Americans that couldn't handle this game because it was too intellectual for them, I really am enjoying the game. All kidding aside, I did play like up to chapter 3 initially on my PS4 Pro. It was good. I lost interest and then I lost my save because it was slow. Here, there are already new missions and new, features that kind of help you move a little better, make the game a little easier. There's a bunch of cool little side missions that really kind of grab my attention and give you cosmetics, and I'm a total nerd for that. There was one mission where I was carrying around a companion cube from Portal. And I ended up delivering that and getting Gordon Freeman's glasses to wear, and I'm a fucking huge Half-Life stan. So I was like,
that is so cool,
all right,
Kevin.
that's pretty fucking cool, right?
Yes.
And they have those scattered around, but it is a beautiful game. It is, like you said, it's very deliberate, intentional. You have to think before you act. You got to plan your shit. You got to plot your paths. You gotta. But there's also so many moments where you're just out in the open road and you're just chilling. And music comes on and you get to zone out a little bit. Until you have to encounter another BT area, or you have to sneak up on motherfuckers and murk them. All right, so there's now a training ground where you go and you test your weapons. I already now have a weapon that was previously didn't exist before the director's cut that shocks people. So it's opening up different ways of gameplay, and you can be much more aggressive than you were in the initial version. So I like that. And that's good because sometimes you fuck up, right? And you can't sneak, and this gives you another option instead of just getting fucking wrecked. So Death Stranding, yes, it's weird. It's got its quirks. Kojima's kind of a dick still, and I don't like him, but this is a good game. If you want something just completely different, it's a good palate cleanser. It's a good game to play in between other games. The story is weird, but apparently eventually makes sense. I haven't finished it, so I'm hoping to finish it. And the motorcycle Sarko is still garbage. I fucking hate that thing. Like, we're in the future, and you can't give me a motorcycle that goes over little pebbles. Anyway,
Isn't there a jump mechanic
good.
though?
I don't
with
think
it?
the motorcycle was that bad.
There's a jump. There is a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just seems like the tires need to be a little bigger on that motherfucker.
They're wide, man. The tires are wide too.
It's like
They
a
even
double
split,
tire,
don't they? Yeah, they like
Yeah.
split.
I know. It's me. It's me being picky. But yes, all the add-ons are really, really good. The add-on missions are good. The graphics, it's a fucking delight on my OLED. It looks amazing.
Oh,
And I know that it already looked amazing, so it looks even better than that. And the 60 FPS makes makes trudging around a lot nicer.
Did you see if you saw the Digital Foundry breakdown of the graphical options? It's really fascinating, man. So
They're
they have
all
like,
60.
They're all
basically.
60, right? Like, I mean, obviously the performance for the performance mode just keeps it locked to 60, whereas like I think the quality mode keeps it dynamic. It makes a dynamic resolution to keep it at 60. And then you have the ultra wide mode. The ultra wide mode actually performs. It keeps the graphical quality of quality mode, but because I guess like it pushes I don't know exactly how it works, but they said it's the graphical quality of quality mode running at 60, and it's actually just as stable as performance mode. I would love to play that. I would love to see how it looks on the CX too. So anyway, yeah. If you have any remote interest in Death Stranding, I think you should. I know my fucking son Jordan. I know you're gonna get into that at some point.
Yeah, no, I will be all over this. That's for sure. I've not been one that's really kind of had a whole lot of experience with Kojima games. Again, I've played Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, and Snake Eater, but they didn't really like stick with me as like, oh my goodness, those are incredible. But at the same time, I'm gonna continue the Kojima slander. He is a little bit pretentious, maybe more than a little.
I think he's misunderstood, bro.
Yeah, for sure, Mo. I'm with Mo.
I am not a Kojima stan, but I am a fan of his work, and I think the guy is misunderstood.
I feel like if he goes out of the way to say, I didn't make this trailer, just to be clear, I didn't make this trailer. I didn't make this trailer, by the way. He clearly didn't like it. So, like, what the fuck? Like, oh, throw him under the bus, why don't you? But no, I mean, this looks cool. I really do want to play this. This looks incredibly interesting, and I want something different. And I was just going to say, to your point, the majority of the Western audience, the gamers, we like immediate satisfaction. So those shooters, they give us that immediate feedback.
Yes.
So that's exactly what this is. So, and it's just I think we'll always see games like this kind of underperform commercially just because of that fact. It's a shame, but hopefully people keep making games like this that are different, because these are the games that we talk about that stick with us. Like, it stuck with you, man.
Yeah, it did, man. Yeah, it definitely did. I did.
One thing
well
I
worth
would
the $10.
Yeah, for the upgrade. One thing I will say about Death Stranding, and it won't be too long here, but one thing, Jordan, that you will appreciate about Death Stranding, and I only say this because I know you hike actually. Kojima went out of his way to hike with like military personnel over there in Japan, and that's how he got a lot of this like movement, the like how the mechanics work. And dude, and one thing to me, because it is like it's got like that cliff dude in it, and it's like it's got that military vein in it, and because I've hiked a ton of fucking mountains back in the day or whatever, like it is so like you're just amazed at how Kojima made hiking like a gameplay mechanic, and it just resonated. It just resonated with me personally, and I feel like because you're a hiker, because you understand like, oh, this fucking pack is heavy, I gotta lean forward, or I can't like, the terrain is weird, like can't step right there, like every step you're taking is like for safety purposes, you know what I mean? And it has that in the game, and it's just so good, man. Like, could I sit back and say like, hey, they're not wrong when they sit there and say it's just like a delivering type of game? Like, it is, but it's so much deeper than that. And especially if you've ever gone on a hike yourself, like, you will be just so impressed with what he thought about. Like, you just got to think, he was hiking up mountains, tired as fuck, sweaty, wearing heavy shit, and he was like, how can I make this a game? My balance, like, oh shit, like, R2.
It's crazy, bro.
It's so
that's
good.
The thing. And he managed to do it. That's the crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds so mundane, but he just managed to fucking do it, and he made it apply. And what was at stake? Using, what they put, like the stakes of, in the game, obviously, like the stakes, and how he was able to use that as a bridge, to get, to get to the,
And the online portion is so unique. I don't even know. Mo, you get it. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about the online portion too is really, like, I mean, that's another thing that really gets downplayed, because if you're playing the game when you are playing the game and you come across like the terrain, you know, or wherever you are, and it's just like, fuck, man, like you look at it, you're like, God damn it, I got to do this right now. I can't tell you how rewarding it is to see a ladder or a rope or a bridge or something that was
real.
done by
You're like,
somebody
fuck
else. I
yes.
swear to God, I can't emphasize it enough when
We
you
could
see
go
things
on
like that, because
forever
it
about
really,
Death Stranding.
and that's the,
So
I know
good.
we can.
It's so good. It's so
That
good.
was,
Is
but
that
he
good?
did that, right? And it worked. It worked because that's the
Okay.
whole point, is like when they say like, oh, humanity coming together, like, fuck, man, I don't know who put this. I don't know who's, you know, I'm just seeing a username, but in the back of my
Yeah,
head, I'm like,
it's-
bro,
it's-
God bless you. Thank
God
you for
bless
this. You just made my
Big
experience a little
Caucus
bit easier.
69.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you, Moldy Vagina 22.
Yes,
Yeah, it
that's-
saves
I
me
love
20
you.
minutes of
Thank
gameplay
you.
because there's a rope right there.
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like, it is
yeah,
so,
so-
good, man.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's
So-
yeah, no, it's so good. I just want to share one more thing on that. I decided to take a shortcut. There was a bridge about 20 feet away from me. I decided to cross the water. It was too deep. My bike got stuck. I fell and all my packages went downstream.
No!
And that's the kind of game it is, though. Like 1 second you're good,
good.
and then that is no walking simulator, bro. Like in a walking simulator, those packages would have never fell. They started floating down the river. I was raging. I'm like, and you're thinking, God, I'm a dumbass. I could have just taken the fucking bridge. But no, I had to try to cross the goddamn river. Anyway, good game.
Yeah,
Check it
man,
out.
Nick,
Well
so
worth the $10.
Yeah, it is, man. It's definitely worth it. Rest of you are still playing checkers. I love you, Nick, my man.
Oh god.
Okay, so that's enough Death Stranding. I could go on for hours about it.
For sure.
Okay, so another topic that I'm sure you guys have heard a lot over the past week, and we just wanted to, just add on because we didn't get to talk about it last week, was the announcement of Crystal Dynamics and the initiative kind of collaborating to make Perfect Dark. Initially, there was some confusion in terms of, is this just is this like an outsourcing thing, or is it, or is this like a full-on collaboration? My initial take, when I first saw it, I knew it was a collaborative effort, because I've never seen a studio, even like somebody like Naughty Dog or whoever, like these guys outsource to thousands of, people. Like there's thousands of people that work on this game. It's not just Naughty Dog and that's it, right? Or it's not just Santa Monica. Every studio outsources, but I've never seen it made on a public level like this, right? Like you usually just see it in the credits when they roll. You're kind of like, oh, okay, like, special thanks to blah, 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 blah. Like, if you're a dork like me and you actually read the credits, you'll see it there. But this was like a full-on, it was announced by Phil Spencer. It was announced by The Initiative. It was announced by Crystal Dynamics. And I'll be honest, my initial knee-jerk reaction was why, right? Like, we were told about The Initiative, and it was supposed to be this, like, the flagship studio for Xbox. They've been touting it for a few years now. Why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. And then that was initially how I thought, right? I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I didn't think the game was in trouble, but I was just like, why? Like, this is supposed to be, like, the studio, right? Like, that was built by Xbox from the ground up to give us those, those God of Wars, those Uncharted's, like, those narratively driven experiences that that I've been personally wanting really bad, right? Like, for Team Green. And, the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then I just had a few conversations, and shout out to Abe from Xbox Era. Last week, he jumped in our party chat, and he really kind of like just reoriented me in terms of like my thought process. Especially nowadays, it's harder to hire so many people, right? Like, he's just like, okay, you got these 70, 75 people that are in the initiative, right? These are the people that are designing the game. These are the people who are coming up with the vision. Why are you going to hire hundreds of engineers, hundreds of programmers, hundreds of artists, hundreds of whatever, blah, 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 to be able to do all this, right? When you can just get the game design down in terms of how you want it. And then you have Gallagher, who is the studio head, who has a very good relationship with Crystal Dynamics because he's come from there already. So I'm sure like at some point they were like, okay, since we are the ones that have the creative vision for the game, why not go to a studio who we have experience with and who we have confidence in for the technical aspect of it, right? Like, why are you going to hire all these people to do the technical side of it when there's a full-fledged studio who has experience with some very good games historically who can do that for you, and you just work hand in hand with them. And once I looked at it from that perspective, I was like, holy fuck, like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. And that's why it was made on a that's why it was made on a public scale, right? Like, I mean, because this is a full-on collaborative effort. Initially, though, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, so is Crystal Dynamics going to work with them in terms of the story? Is this going to be like, oh, we're going to shape it together? Like, I mean, but like, I'm pretty confident in what he told me, because he's pretty confident, and he's somebody who's not knee-jerk and who's very, very rational, you know, with his reporting. And he just basically told me, he's like, it's pretty much for the technical side. So once I looked at it like that, I'm like, okay, I think this is cool. You know, I mean, I think they'll do a good job. My only concern was because Crystal Dynamics has never made a first-person shooter, and this is supposed to be a stealth first-person shooter. You know, but from what they said it was going to be, because initially I was like, well, why not just go to Arcane? Arcane just basically perfected it with Dishonored, you know, 1 and 2. Like, I mean, it's not a shooter, but still there are shooting elements, and it's a first-person stealth action game. But obviously, you don't want to take away, you know, manpower, considering, you know, for that they're probably helping out. It's just one big clusterfuck that will never ever be in the loop or figure out how it works. But I'm feeling a lot better about it than I did from before. So
Cool.
yeah. What do you guys?
That's new info to me, man.
Yeah.
I like
Jordan, what about you, man? What did you? I haven't really picked your brain about this when it first happened.
Yeah, no, we actually spoke about it briefly in a party when we first heard about this, and yeah, no, I remember you referencing your conversation with Abe, and that is pretty eye-opening. So, yes, it's very easy to see this as a, you know, when you mentioned a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh my goodness, you got this, you tout this big studio with all these renowned developers, and now all of a sudden, before this game even, you know, is coming out still, we have to hire a team on board to help support us to push this out. Yeah, that's easy to make that assumption, but again, the thing you just said towards the end is that we're never going to kind of understand, you know, to what extent the implications of this are. So thinking of it solely from a positive, if anything, it just, like you said, it just leaves the initiative more room to focus on the creative vision, whereas to leave all the coding stuff solely just to Crystal Dynamics. So more manpower is not necessarily a bad thing, but that can also be a double-edged sword, because if you have too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, then you kind of have all these ideas that just never jive together. I mean, Call of Duty, you got Raven Studios, you got Moon, whatever, you got Sledgehammer, you got Infinity Ward, you got Treyarch. Like, what the hell is going on there? But again, that's a bit of a tangent. But again, yeah, you could question why they would pull someone that hasn't made a first-person shooter before. But again, at the same time, we really don't know what extent of the design this is going to affect.
Sure.
Yeah, honestly, I have no stance on this aside from the fact that I just want the initiative to be able to execute on their vision.
Yeah, that's it, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's not. We're not gonna do. You know, we avoided the whole fucking outrage about something that we
Image
don't know. You know, I mean,
control.
yeah. Look, there's people that just voice concern because they want to be dickheads, and you know, they just
Correct.
want to,
Correct.
you know, like the whole fake outrage thing. And then there's people
Yes.
like us who actually fucking love video games, and we're just like, yo, I mean,
Yeah.
why,
I'm not-
right? Like,
yeah.
yeah. So
I'm not here to cry wolf or anything like that. It's just
exactly. So yeah, Bad Bit is here saying long live the Dreamcast because PlayStation and Xbox are both dead. I can't agree with you more, man. Yeah, definitely. Dude, they're both
forever.
dead. They're just both waiting, you know, just fucking prone position. They're just waiting
one
for
foot in the
somebody to come and
grave.
pick them up. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, what did you think about this?
I'm
Initially?
so excited for this A game.
Yeah.
7A game. Because it should be fucking amazing. No, Perfect Dark is going to be good. You know, it does kind of cement the fact of how difficult it is to get a studio going. You know, people are like, oh, they've had 3 years, you know, have they been jerking off this whole time? Potentially, yes, but my other theory is that they were just, you know, getting situated. I mean, it takes cohesion, it takes teamwork, and then you had COVID in there, And the timeline seems pretty realistic in today's time, considering that everything's taking longer nowadays to get done. So I'm excited. Crystal Dynamics is solid. I think as a support studio or whatever they're going to be doing here. I am interested in seeing kind of how this plays out. If this is the only studio they're going to tap, and how big of a role they're going to have. The announcement was weird, like Mo said. Like they usually don't do that if it's just a small support studio. They're not going to be like, we're working with these guys. They're going to take all the credit, like Naughty Dog. And they're not going to talk about who helped them and which employees died along the way making The Last of Us 2. I'm just interested to see how this works out. It's different, but everything Microsoft has done has been different, right? This whole last generation. I'm looking forward to a good game. I like Perfect Dark, and I think if it gets reimagined well, like even God, man, even if it comes out and it's as popular and as well polished as something like Resident Evil 2 remake, I mean that would be badass. Like something like that still kept that original vibe and just had all the niceties of today's systems. That's all I got on it. It was definitely just kind of an odd comment, and that's why it sparked all the speculation.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Nix, let me ask you something. I see what you mean. I do see what you mean, in terms of, they put a storyboard together. There's no really game development from what you understand. Okay. Now think about the development studios themselves, right? They're cut up into different departments. Like for instance, like Sony Santa Monica. Okay. You have Cory Barlog. Cory Barlog is the creative director, right? Like, I mean, for something like God of War, he's the one that's coming up with the story. He's the one that's coming up with the storyboard, I guess. And then they have artists and they have engineers and whatever. Anybody that's working on the game themselves, right? Like, I mean, from a design perspective or from a building perspective, would you single out anyone from that moniker just because they're not actually developing the game itself, right? Like if I have an engineer, if I have a programmer, and what is he going to do if I'm not telling him what it is that I'm doing or what it is that I want? If I don't have a vision and if I don't have a design and if I don't tell him how it is or what it is that I want him to do, how's he going to do it? So I see what you're saying in terms of the studio itself, because like they're creating the story and the vision and whatever. And again, we don't really know the details. I'm sure it's a lot deeper than what we think it is, but by hiring like all these world-class talent, like, I mean, that's what we were told, and that's what they've hired at the initiative. Like, it seems like maybe this is the start, maybe this is what they were brought up to do. Maybe this is a studio that was put together to do this, right? Like, I mean, to come up with these amazing stories and amazing whatever, and come up with an entire idea of how we're going to build this game and how we should, because these are developers that are working at the studio. These are very, very talented developers that have experience from making games from before. So if you put all these brains together and they come up with an idea, and then they basically go to a studio like Crystal Dynamics and they tell them, hey, build. This is the blueprint. This is what we want. So I get what you're saying from that perspective, I mean, but again, like, I think it's also a, you can't really single anybody out. Like, fair point. That's why you're the voice. I love you, Nix. But yeah,
voice reason.
Sometimes, yeah, you'll be surprised, man. Honestly, these guys know me a lot. Yeah, very good. Mike, did you have anything to say on this, or?
Yeah, I do actually. It doesn't like same with you, Mo. Actually, and what you just said, I'm having that same type of processing here. So it sounds like to me, Crystal Dynamics is like testing the waters with being contracted out to other companies or other studios to do other things, because it wasn't solely Crystal Dynamics who did Avengers. You know what I mean? Avengers isn't done yet, so I'm wondering, like, are they going to cap Avengers off and like rotate into there? Because I know from the social media manager or whatever, he was like all hands on deck for Avengers until like we're done or whatever. So, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this from other studios as well, like being contracted out to be like, yo, you guys do a good job on this, we'll give you a certain amount of money if you do this for our game, and, vice versa. And I think, I don't know why, but I just feel like Crystal Dynamics is like the first studio to really get their hands into like every single fucking thing. Perfect Dark is a crazy. it's a crazy game for them to get into and know what they're doing. Like Tomb Raider, Avengers, Legacy of Kain, if we're going that far back, like all third person games. I mean, Crystal Dynamics even hired for a short amount of time. This wasn't like a studio jump or none of that shit. Crystal Dynamics hired the guys from Naughty Dog and some other guy from some other place, Santa Monica Studios, to work on Avengers. So it's like I feel like they're just kind of like one big team over there in California, like trying to figure shit out, and they're just like, yo, bro, like send that team over here today. Like, hey, you're working on the South Studio today or whatever.
Cha, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, we're going surfing for the first hour. I'll see you at the studio
man.
at 6 p.m. Like, we'll switch it off here. Yeah, that's what I think. I think we'll see more of that too, especially from like maybe even these Eastern studios or something like that. Just they're trying to get people in the mix. It's changing right now. You know, I think COVID was one of those things that like made gaming and the studios like really think outside the box into how to like get shit out to people, you know. And I feel like we're kind of seeing that rotation of what we talked about, Mo, like a year ago, where it's like warm-ups are over kind of right now, and now they're kind of like all the acquisitions are done for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like they're figuring out what to do, all that cohesiveness of what Kevin was talking about, like all that planning and all that stuff is finally at that stage to where you can actually execute and do something about like at a major scale within studios and stuff like that. So good on Crystal Dynamics. Like, I love seeing their name because I played a shitload of Legacy of Kain, but now I know that they're not going to be in Avengers. But I guess they're not going to be working on any Legacy of Kain. What the fuck? But whatever. Blue Point.
Oh yeah. We'll see. We'll even see if they do that. But yeah, man, some solid points all around.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let me. All right. So since we already did the drawing while we were all freaking talking or whatever, so the winner of the game of either Kana or
you're choosing
between Nickelodeon All Star.
Put them up.
I hope you pick Nickelodeon All Star because we're doing a tournament and we're going to talk about that later on. Is Shizno? Shizno, if you're still in here, I think you are. Congratulations, buddy. You are the winner of either a copy of Kana, Bridge of Spirits, or Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Your choice of platform. I remember you've been saying that you wanted to pick up a PS5 recently as well, man. You know, I mean, like, you've been talking about that for a few weeks now. So, yeah, if you are still going to do that, we'd be happy to supply you with your first game for it or whatever, or either the Nickelodeon All-Stars. So congratulations to you, man. Reach out, or we'll reach out, and I'll see what it is that you choose. So congrats again. Sorry. Yeah, Nix, it's okay, man. We always give out games, bro. There's always more chances.
Kojima stands don't need games.
Kojima stands don't need games.
They can play the same Kojima game over and over
Created
again.
by Kojima, presented by Kojima.
So
by
intellectual.
I'm just fucking with it.
I'd rather play this classy silk than rub my skin against this shitty leather.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, okay. Let's get to Halo really quick, guys.
Hey, let's
get to Halo. I think I'm what I will say. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think everybody, all of us have played it. Not gonna say anything any different than what you've all heard from, but in terms of impressions and whatnot, I think it's amazing what they've done with it. I think they have really just silenced a lot of the criticism that the studio had from before, at least for the multiplayer portion. One thing I think we are all very confident in when going into the game, which comes out in a little over 2 months now, is the multiplayer is going to be something fantastic to experience. And this is all, and what we're witnessing now from the performance and the gameplay and everything else. And this is just a small taste of what it is that we're going to get with this massively large free multiplayer suite that a lot of people forget. This is going to be free to play. So I think it's very, very impressive. I could get into the technical aspect of why I think it's very impressive. I'll jump over to Jordan because he can he could talk about Halo a lot more eloquently than I can, because I just get like my emotions involved, and then I'll start stuttering and saying stupid shit. So, you know, I mean, just
Yeah.
because of how much I love this series and this game. So, Jordan, I'll let you take over, man. What do you think?
Man.
At least like now, like this is the first time, like actually even last weekend, I think. So, because I know you missed the first one, but what do you think so far?
I did. No, it feels great, man. You know, for I think for the vast majority of Halo fans, Halo competitive multiplayer is more or less back, and I would say it's probably the best that it's been. It's amazing to see how 343 has kind of successfully evolved the game over the you know the last 3 games that they've put out. Movement here is fantastic. I have a few nitpick things that are just mostly just system side, but the game controls and feels just so smooth. Shooting is responsive. They've talked a little bit about the aim assist and lack of bullet magnetism that's exemplified in the mechanics here, and they're aware of some things that don't necessarily feel right. I know there's a bit of a controversy right now with some of the Halo purists and hardcores, but it is not easy to land precision shots in this game, and I think a lot of us here, the veterans especially, have recognized that. But at the same time, it still leaves viability for a bunch of other weapons in the sandbox, the AR here specifically, but it might be a little bit overpowered for some of us. It's got a ton of range.
Yeah.
But regardless, though, like I said, this was my first proper flight. Pampa, shout out to you, because I got to play the first flight with his account. I've sunk many hours into this game here. You know, we all experienced big team battle for the first time this weekend, and goodness gracious, 12v12 feels great. CTF can be a bit of a headache if you don't have a coordinated team. You're just throwing bodies at the objective over and over again. Total Control is a kind of one of their newer game modes, but I'm not 100% sold on the execution of it because of the way it utilizes such a small portion of the map.
Yeah.
It feels like you're just dogpiling on 3 objectives that are really, really close together. But yeah, these are all things that, you know, I imagine they will adjust on the fly. You know, 343 has always touted community feedback and listening and hearing what the vast majority of us have to say. So,
Sure.
Yeah, the future is promising for this, man. It just feels great to play this again, and I know all of us will be sinking many hours into this, and newcomers alike. I know this is his first time diving into Halo PvP in a big way, and it's just really exciting and encouraging to see so many people having passion for this, and those that haven't experienced what it has to offer kind of you know, take it with open arms, you know, because Halo needs to shine more than it does in terms of standing out amongst competitive shooters like Call of Duty in terms of sales and the amount of people that you see concurrently playing it. We need this game to do good, and I think this is the year for it to shine, given, you know, what we've seen from Vanguard and how Battlefield might end up turning out.
Yeah,
this is the year. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, man. No, I'm with you. Now let me ask you.
Let's go, boys.
Let me ask you one thing, because for me personally, I think I'm decent, you know, at this game, even like playing it, you know, I've playing Halo for so many years, but
Yeah.
you are a sharpshooter, you know, and anybody that plays with you knows
yeah.
that. So
yeah.
where are you with the aim thing? You know, even for somebody like me who's average, I don't really care that they've decreased the aim assist. I actually feel like, for me personally, that helps me out, because it makes it just helps out with my skill level, right? Like it forces me to improve rather than relying on it. I have heard there's some people that are cool with it, and there's some people that want it bumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
I personally don't want it touched, but what do you think? Where you at with that?
I think so. Yeah, you're right. Having less of that aim assist and less bullet magnetism does raise the skill gap a little bit. But because it's kind of an even playing field and it's new for all of us, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think just like playing a new game for the first time, it might just be having to acquire that muscle memory. You know, one of our mutuals, Patman Gaming, he and I have kind of exchanged a few messages along with Ains from Season Gaming and some DMs about it. And I think there's something that needs to be addressed, maybe not changed, but at least 343 saying like, okay, we see what this is, or maybe they explain the mechanics. Because when Halo 5 was in development, they did a huge deep dive as far as explaining what aim assist looks like, what bullet magnetism looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check it out, Mike.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say no one's at an advantage per se, unless like you have really, really good muscle memory, and you just you have a very good brain and body connection in terms of where you are in this space and where you're putting your reticle at. It's tough. I won't lie. I don't feel as comfortable as I do with Halo 5. I will admit that. I know 3-Bit mentioned that too today when he was on Bitcast, and yeah, I think veterans will all say more or less the same thing. But is it a bad thing? No. Does it have to feel just like Halo 5? No.
Right.
Except we'll just have to learn the mechanics if that's just what it comes to.
Yeah. The other thing is the what was I going to tell you? The we were talking about bullet magnetism. Yeah, so I do agree with some of the complaints initially, because I felt like, and really I noticed it when I kicked up the sensitivity. Last week, or was it Friday? I can't remember when or maybe it was last weekend. So I went up on my sensitivity, but I still felt like some of these guys like Pat, man, like the really ultra purists, these guys were talking about like some sort of lag, in terms of, sorry, that's my son in the background. He's crying from upstairs. I apologize. So, they were talking about, like a lag, like when you actually turn the stick. And I did notice that. And then like I saw a video, kind of like explaining all of the control settings, and and there were not look sensitivity. God, what was it that I was? No, not the other one. God, I can't remember what the hell.
So they have
look acceleration.
They have
aim acceleration.
Look acceleration. Yeah. So I actually kicked up the look acceleration. I think the base one was at 2, and I went up to 4 a couple of days ago, and man, that has helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people are hung up on the fact that this shouldn't be a problem because it's Halo, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Halo's controls are pretty much like sacred, like in terms of how it feels and how it whatever. And a lot of people are saying we don't need videos to tell us how to fix, Halo's controls. And from that perspective, I agree. I feel like it's like a little bit too like, high horse-ish, but at the same time, like still, like I do see it from that perspective, but has that been a problem with you, at least like sensitivity or aiming or whatever, before I go over to Kevin? I'm sorry, my fucking son.
No. Not to belabor it. No, I definitely adjusted my settings in a big way. I messed a lot with those values in terms of dead zone, acceleration, sensitivity, because the default didn't feel right to me. But like I said, like you even mentioned here, anyone can fine tune it to dial in. It's going to take time, obviously, but yeah, dial in, mess around with those values, because ultimately, you'll find a sweet spot. But and just going back to the precision thing, I find myself overcorrecting a lot with the sidearm. Like I'm always, if someone's moving, I'm usually moving just past them. I can't keep my reticle on them quickly enough. But I think that's just going to come with time, I think. Yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to say, that grapple hook is the best damn thing ever.
It's amazing.
I posted a clip earlier of where I got hijacked on the edge of this map, and just before I lost control of the Ghost, I shot it off the edge of the map, and I grapple hooked myself back onto the map.
Nice, man.
You said, not today, devil.
Like, nah,
not today, Satan.
We've seen some crazy videos, dude. People have been pulling off some crazy shit with it. It's unbelievable. Even Stallion, he posted a video where he, like, just to show like how robust the grapple is, how amazing it is. He showed a video where he drove the Warthog or whatever it was off of the cliff intentionally. Then he got out and he used his. You see, like in the background here, like that entire area around. Yeah. What do you call it? That big round circle that envelopes the arena. He used the grapple basically to just grapple from one point to another, and he got himself back onto the map. So he avoided death. And it was just the point he was trying to make, like with how great the grapple can be if you use it the right way. Awesome. It's amazing, man. Honestly. And Nick's here said it takes time to get used to Halo if you haven't played it for a long time. Yeah, man. Imagine the people that have never played it, people that are coming from Call of Duty or whatever. I mean, it's y'all better sharpen your skills in that academy, man. Because that's coming. Kevin, you've never been into Halo PvP, so
nah, I haven't.
I know you're loving this, man. What did you think?
Yeah, I played maybe a total 1 hour of all the Halos together, in PvP. I'm totally digging this. It's
awesome.
it's bringing me back to the arena shooters that I used to like back in the day when my reflexes were much faster than they are now. But this the game looks sharp. It runs well. It runs at 120 frames on my Series X, and that feels amazing. The guns feel amazing. Even the assault rifle. All of them. The sidearm, the sidekick feels amazing. The action is good. I think the time to kill is good. I know people are complaining about it, but I think it's fine. Some of the hitboxes act a little weird sometimes, I think. But these are all bugs. That's why it's not released yet, right? So, and these are things that I see them tweaking over time too. In all these things, weapons will get nerfed, other weapons will get bumped up. But overall, I've been having a really good time. I mean, even when I lose, I'm having a good time, and it's just it's wholesome fun, dude. I mean, I don't know, I see some hate going around there, on the Twitterverse, but honestly, it's people that either the game is not for them or they just are pricks, because it really is shaping up to be a good, fun multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And I was worried. I was really worried. I'm not worried anymore. I think it'll do great. I do want to see more battle pass shit. I want to feel like I'm missing out if I'm not paying for a battle pass.
Cool.
So I want good shit in there that's worth my fucking time. How I get the XP, I think will work itself out. I know there's still some concern on how people earn the XP. I think I think it's going to work itself out. I really want some cool shit in there that makes it worthwhile for people to stick, with it and want to, level up and want to level up their battle pass. Cause that's what makes people stick with these, right?
Sure.
Is fucking that kind of shit. As silly as it is, that's what makes Fortnite, and that's what makes people stick with Call of Duty is they want to get to 100 and get the fucking skin and I'm excited, man. I am 100% not playing any other multiplayer FPS this fall, and I'm just gonna concentrate on Halo because otherwise I won't be good. I'll be even shittier at everything. And my wife will not let me quit my job to become a professional Halo player. I tried. I asked. I'll ask again a few times before December 8th, but. Pretty sure I'm still going to be an average asshole playing Halo, and I'm okay with that because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and playing with your friends on BTB. That map was amazing.
Yes.
It all ran really nice. I am excited to see what the single player looks like too. It just gave me the single player vibes, right? It was big enough that you're like, okay, this is what the single player is going to look like. So yeah, no, I am elbow deep in this shit. I am ready, and December can't get here fast enough.
For sure.
Yeah,
dude.
definitely, man. Nix just gate us food for thought here. Halo doesn't pay the bills; it creates divorce. So, yeah, dude, we're not looking forward to it, at least from that perspective. Mike, even you, us, because you were never big into Halo from before. So, what did you think so far of this of the flight, or what you played of it?
I played, man, last weekend's flight. I played so much of it. I was like, fuck, I'm good on this actually. Because I tried to play every second that it was out. You know what I mean? And gee golly, what a time. So handles, it is tight. It is precise. When you're on a ledge and you want to get up on that ledge, there is no fucking around. It does what you want it to do. And I love that, man. I jumped into Kevin's match one time. You were just solo, playing with randoms or whatever. And I saw you make this jump and I was like, how did he do that? And the more I played with my jump, I figured out oh, okay. Just really the player really grabs on sideways forward. It really gets where you want to go. And to me, honestly, man, it is such a fresh breath of air to play something like this after playing Warzone for so long, man. The handles, how you have to stay on the enemy is that's where the skill is,
Yes.
And that's great. That's it's staying precise. Like, not only do you have to be precise, but you got to stay precise. You got to know the walls. You got to know how your character moves. You got to know the gun. You know, you got to know all this stuff, the movement. And even playing with randoms, like, you can kind of like lock onto other players, like, without talking to them, like, okay, I see like what he's doing, or I'm going to link up with this guy because he's got a power weapon. And I kind of want to, you know, if you got a target, or if you're overwhelmed with targets, you're not going to like stay on one target. You know what I'm saying? You're going to like bounce back and forth, and you want that. That's how you like trick the mind into beating them, basically, you know, the art of war or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's very cool knowing all the maps, knowing like the timing when the weapons respawn and stuff like that. Like, I just thought it was so fucking crisp, man. And especially for a beta, it was so good, dude. I like didn't care to play Infinite last night. I actually, like I told y'all guys earlier, like I played Halo 1, man, because I was like, I got to catch up to this. Like, because I don't want to play the campaign, like, not knowing, even though I know it's like a somewhat of a soft reboot or whatever. Like, I just want to go into it, like, being aware of it. You know what I mean? Because I, as a guy who was never so deep into Halo, and now that, like, I'm saying I'm getting there, man, like, I don't see how this game will be a flop in any way. I see it is that it's, Halo is finally taking the place among exclusive games as it should in Xbox, like Gears and stuff like that. Yeah. And dude, like, it belongs there, man. Like, it so belongs there, dude. Like, I'm such a
way, man.
Dude, exactly.
It paved the way, and it's about fucking time it comes back.
It is about fucking time, Mo. I'm so with that, bro. Like, and I love it. And I love it. I love it what it's doing for Xbox. I love what it's doing for me and my personal gaming. I just like, and I love what it can, like, the potential of what it has. Like, Halo multiplayer matches, man. It literally felt like I was back at my buddy's garage, linked up, you know, with everybody, drinking monsters and shit back in 2006 or whatever it was. Like, it's just a good time, man. I was listening to there's a bunch of open mics too, which I like during your time in multiplayer if you're not playing with your buddies. And you get guys who didn't play the previous flight and they're just like, "Oh, dude, the Warthog is fucking aces." Or like, "Oh, like I heard some little kid like, "Oh, dude, I haven't played this before, but it feels pretty good, not gonna lie." And I was just like, "You ain't gonna lie, are you, little kid? Like, what the fuck do you know?" Anyways, but I was like, "Cool, thanks for not lying, bro." Yeah, it was just like such a blast that it, and like I said, it puts me in that mindset of Mortal Kombat where it's just like, I want to find out all the little tricks and doodads to get better than the person across from me. You know what I mean? Because it's there, man. Like, the way, like, I was so impressed. You mentioned the time to kill, Kevin, and I was like, yo, the time to kill is fucking perfect for me, actually. It gives you that time to, you can either kill them or you can break off and kind of recharge your shield. Hopefully you have like guys behind you to flow in to replace that weapon that was being fired. You know, like, you're not an individual when it comes to fucking teams, okay? You're just a number, and you're just a part of the big, you're a flood, okay? You're part of the bigger mind hive, all right? The hive mind, all right?
Yeah, when you're playing, you're in it, man. You're in it.
When I'm telling you, bros, man, when you got a team and you're just flowing and you're like jamming on without talking or whatever, like, bro, you're slaying. You're a slayer, slaying bodies, stacking armor piles. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I loved Halo Infinite. I am so happy that like I have like a set in stone, no shit reason. And I'm not saying this to be like one way or the other. Like, no shit. Like, I am so happy that I have a really good reason to play my Xbox. Like, without it being like, oh, I need to jump on Game Pass. Like, fuck no, man. Like, yeah. Anyways, just in case you couldn't tell, super excited for Halo.
I'm happy to hear that, man. And then here's a Wild Boy with the fucking weekly hot coffee mod. I hope they include one in Halo Infinite
every
just
time.
for you, Wild Boy. You know, I mean, I know it's something that, you know.
You can see Master Chief naked.
Hey, here's Wilmy. He's saying, he's like, I don't feel like I have Mike's on his dude thoughts. Hey, Mike, man.
You really catch you at the show, Wilmy. I'll give you some dude thoughts.
Hit you outside.
Dude.
Actually, that might not. That is. Yeah. What the fuck am I talking about? I think that's either Wilmy or maybe that's Husk.
Husk.
Or Fork. Reveal yourself. Reveal yourself. goddamn.
Reveal yourself.
Myself.
How are you?
Way too talkative to be Wilmy, I think.
Yeah.
Wilmy's word quote is like 10 for the day. So
It is Wilmy, my fucking man.
Oh,
What's up,
shit.
Wilmy?
What up, Wilmy?
Oh shit. That's awesome, man.
dude.
Good to see you here, brother, man. Appreciate
Who
you
are
being
you?
here with us.
Shizno with the God of War. Yeah, you know.
they're
Okay.
not.
So yeah, I think we're all excited for Halo. And Lady also mentioned earlier that 2 months, man. Honestly, I mean, we've been waiting for how long now? You know, I mean, so 2 months are probably gonna fly by. Wilmy said Husk and Fork aren't funny. Might have to agree
That's
with you
true.
there, bro. I love you guys. Okay, let's see. Final one we'll go to is so PlayStation. They officially acquired Blue Point Studio. I think that comes at no surprise. It's been rumored for the longest time. I think once PlayStation Japan, like a month ago or a few weeks ago, they accidentally let it slip. It was when PlayStation acquired Housemarque. And I think this is something that has been in the works. Obviously, you know, it's one of those studios that just makes sense considering how much they've worked with Sony. They've done the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. They did the Shadow of the Colossus. They did Demon's Souls. You know, I mean, and now there's this, obviously. And now they have officially joined the banner, and it's, you know, they said that we're aiming to work on original content going forward. They do have 2 games in the works. I think apparently, and they did say our next project, we're working on original content right now. We can't talk about what it is, but that's the next step in the evolution for us. Noting that the studio was already partially creating original content with its previous projects. So original content, I don't think means new IP. I think they should be afforded the freedom, and I think they will eventually because they're pretty talented in what they do. You know, I mean, making a remake isn't exactly copy and paste. You know, I mean, it requires a lot of work, and they've done a phenomenal job, at least just with Demon's Souls. I think speaks for itself, and with Shadow of the Colossus as well. So whatever it is that they do, dude, even if they're brought on to fucking just be like a remake studio, I really don't care. Right, like, I mean, because we've seen how good they are with that, and whether that's going to be Metal Gear, you know, like a rumored Metal Gear Solid or whatever it is, I mean, who knows at this point, right? But I think I think it makes sense. It definitely makes sense, and they fit within, you know, the PlayStation ecosystem, and because they've worked on so much. So in terms of what their next game will be, I don't know. Is it going to be original IP, a new IP? No, original content again does not equal new IP, but
Yeah.
I think at some point they will have their own IP. But for what they do and how good they do it, this is fantastic news for PlayStation fans, and it's good for PlayStation, the PlayStation ecosystem in general. Jordan, I don't know if you've played Shadow of the Colossus or at least a remake, you know, or if you played Demon's Souls. But what do you think now that you are a PlayStation owner as well? Is this something that excites you?
I will have you know, my friend, that I did play Shadow of the Colossus back in the day, and
My fucking son, did you?
I do have a few Colossi tackled right now in the remake. I've only played a couple hours of the Blue Point version on my PS5. It's gorgeous. They also did the 360 port for Titanfall. I don't know if you mentioned that.
No,
yeah,
I did not. Holy shit, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, Blue Point, they know how to slap a really, really fucking fresh coat of paint on most games. I think, like, just like you said, it's a wonderful fit. I kind of hope it's not just a remake studio. I think, you know, we kind of spoken in the past, like, you know, I think the vast majority of us as game, at least in our circles, you know, we'd want to see new games, new experiences. Though there are a few ones up that are untapped. I know Mike was just rattling off about Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
But no, it's awesome. This reminded me I need to go back and actually finish Shadow of the Colossus, and at some point I will get to Demon's Souls. I don't know when, but yeah, I think it's a great fix for them. I like seeing that, you know, both Sony and PlayStation are kind of picking up they're amassing, you know, their own little studios here. And it's exciting. It really is exciting, you know. I played through all the Uncharted games recently, and those all looked great on my PS5 as well too. So I think the variety of games that they've worked on, at least, you know, as far as enhancing them, or making them playable on other platforms, might be a testament to what they could accomplish if they do get free reign to exercise their own ideas or their own vision. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always good news. It's cool, man.
I like this, man. Honestly, Kevin, I'm gonna jump to you. Look, man. Yeah, we've already known that they were gonna get Blue Point and whatever, and I love that they're making these moves because we've always been talking about how long have we been saying about competition, or everybody says it, competition, and how it helps build competition and how it drives the industry, right?
Mhm.
We're seeing Xbox make all of these moves in the past year or 2 years or whatever it is with the Bethesda and whatnot, and this is a direct response of the slapping that they got, and now they're standing head and shoulders, not above, but like they're standing toe to toe, and they're just like, all right, man, we're building for the future. This is what happened. This is what we're doing. And now this is what this is what we're planning. And now we're also seeing Sony I don't want to say respond to that superficially, but still, now they're freaking building now they're even, now they're doing this. They got Housemarque, they got Blue Point. I mean, the other thing too is, and don't forget, the games that they signed with Deviation Studio, Haven, Firewalk. I mean, this is what we want. I know a lot of people are, sometimes they talk about consolidation, like why are all these we don't want these companies to buy all these studios, blah, blah, blah. I personally don't care. Right. That's from my perspective, and I think this whole thing started with the whole Take-Two, Microsoft buying Take-Two thing or whatever it is. I don't think for one fucking second that Microsoft is going to limit Take-Two's creative freedom. That's another conversation, but I think this is awesome. This is how it goes. It's a fucking ping pong thing, right? And this is it. This is what I love. Buy the fucking studios. Yes. Build up your libraries, build up your brands, build up your ecosystems, fight for our fucking money. You can have both of mine,
Yeah.
Both of them can take mine, I'm at least fortunate enough to say that, but still, fucking fire away. Man. Kev, where are you at, man? Where are you at with all this?
Oh, about fucking time, man. This just makes sense, right? I mean, they've basically been doing Sony's bidding for a while now. And it's nice because it's going to give them access to more resources, more money.
Yes.
And hopefully they've proven themselves and can get something going like Housemarque did, right, with Returnal, which I think people still don't realize how big of a game that was. I think that game is amazing. I haven't even beat it. Not a stan of it, but I know it's amazing. It brought that it brought the roguelite to kind of the AAA space. That and Hades is like a roguelike year, but projects like that just make sense. And Sony, I think, is doing it well. They don't have the capital like Microsoft does to be able to just throw like an $8 billion at something, but these studios are treasures in their own right, so to keep them there, to keep them viable, and to give them creative freedom, hopefully, it just makes for better games, and that's what we want, right? I mean, to have fresh games, maybe new IPs, just the experience there, I think is huge for Sony to grab. We kind of all knew it. That picture was released by accident, and there would be no other reason why they would ever draw that up.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they had it on. So some dude, put DC 001 upload instead of DC 002 upload and fucked that up. I am looking forward to it. Competition is great. These studios being bought up is no big deal. Stop fucking worrying about it. There's like fucking 8,000 studios out there making games. Gaming is the biggest industry on the fucking planet.
Yes, it is.
So just calm your titties and everything will be okay.
Hell yeah.
Both male and female titties. Thank you very much.
No.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, we do not discriminate here.
Yes.
Mike, so you just bought you just got your PS5 a few months ago, and your first game I think was Demon's Souls.
It was.
And you got to see it, and I'm sure you played the Nathan Drake collection and Shadow of the Colossus as well. So is that something so what do you think of this?
I think it's cool. I feel like it fits like a Glove? Yeah.
Hey.
I was,
Hey.
we're not, yeah.
Hey.
I feel like gaming has made it to a point now where this will be more common practice. Okay. Like if I got so big into whatever like thing that I'm doing and I had enough money to be like, why do it myself when I could just buy someone else, that could do not only that, but they already have done that and they're experienced in that. Like I'm just gonna, get them in my circle or whatever the case is. Yeah. And obviously Xbox is doing the same kind of thing. And like Kevin said, like I feel like this will be happening. It will continue to happen. Even your favorite studio probably will get bought sooner or later because that's just the way of that's just the way it goes, man. And if it's not the way it goes, then I'm fucking dumbfounded. I don't have a clue. Usually I don't because, well, I'm not in the industry or whatever, but I could just you just see it, what's happening, and you see kind of the pattern, and you just do your little Batman detective work and kind of figure it out or whatever. But I think it's cool. I love the rumors that circulate around it, especially with Blue Point, because if they are like all about remakes and they stick to remaking remakes, I mean, I could name a few games that I would love to be remade in like this high fidelity format, super awesome graphics and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just gonna happen, man. It's just gonna happen. I love it. Like I said, if I was Sony, I'd do the same shit. If I was Xbox, I'd do the same shit, man. Like,
Buy up,
you're
baby.
trying to figure out how to do it efficiently so you can pump high quality at a high number to make as much income as you can, but you know what, man? I just feel like getting on Twitter right now and just complaining my ass off. I know, man. Like, shit, bro.
That's not your style.
I know, right? Golly, man. But yeah, I think it's great. It's great.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's awesome. I'll end it here with Nick saying competition between both will be great. We're all benefiting from it. It's a massive positive.
For sure.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
Like I saw somebody say like, oh man, what a response Sony is having. I'm just like, I don't feel like it's a response. Like I feel like that's not the case. I just feel like it's just they're doing what naturally comes
These
to
deals don't come easy, man. This shit's probably been talked about for years. So
and it's like, oh, Blue Point.
Response.
Yeah, it's
It
like
was a
Blue Point
plan.
looking at Sony. So why you buying us? Oh, because Xbox bought this other thing, so we need you guys. That is not the reason.
We need to buy you.
That is not the reason. I'm sorry. That's just not the reason.
The board just snaps lines of coke and gets money and just starts throwing it at studios. That's what they do. They're like, oh fuck, look at the Xbox Twitter. This is bullshit.
Now,
Let's
the
buy
thing is, too,
studios.
is like, look, this shit's been in the works for a long time, but at the same time, like, still, with the way that the industry is going, like we've been saying, with both making these kinds of moves, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, despite the fact that these have been in the works for a long time, it doesn't mean that they're not watching each other and seeing what it is that they're doing. Hence the whole competitive thing that we've been talking about. So, fuck it, man. Kill each other.
Yeah,
drive each other. I don't care. Just get shit done.
I
and
like
make new
that
games.
route. I like the competitive route instead of the response route. Like I just feel like
That's
that's
That makes
what it
no
is.
sense. That's there's
response,
no way it's that knee jerk. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. No. That's other shows, buddy, not here. Yeah.
yeah, seriously.
All right. That's it, guys. This was a great fucking show. We've been gone for a week and we come back and we have a lot of great topics and everybody in the chat. You guys are amazing as always. Thank you so much for being with us and for joining us. And we hope we not only accommodated your time to get into Infinite, which just opened up 4 minutes ago, but also for us as well. So, again, man, thank you guys for being with us. It's always a pleasure to speak with you all and to laugh with you all and all that other mushy shit that I always say. But seriously, thank you. And then Shizno, congrats to you, man. I just to get in touch. I already got in touch with you on Twitter. In terms of like what your preference is, and congrats, man. And to everybody that entered, thank you guys so much. And hopefully we'll be giving out some more stuff soon. And what else, Jordan? Is there anything you wanted to mention?
No, just the usual housekeeping stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Sorry we skipped a week, but I'm sure you understand if you're all playing Halo 2. It's just good to be back. Had a little bit of a rust to kick off in the beginning of the show, but I think we're all hitting our stride once again. So Yeah, thanks for hanging out again. If you haven't already, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Feel free to reach out to us on Twitter. Yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and play some fucking Halo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow, boy, appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, guys. Smash that like button, please. Yeah.
Smash.
Hops out the channel. But yeah, so you guys got anything else? Jordan, Kevin,
Nope.
Mike? Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
No,
you,
be on
everybody.
standby for shit on Twitch because there's some stuff that we want to kind of get into, or at least I want to get into, like Scarlet Nexus and stuff like that. Just these little side things or whatever. Thanks for coming out, Pampa, Elu, GP, Shizno. Good to see you guys. Doom,
Nix,
I saw
all
you.
you guys,
Nix,
man. Lady,
yeah,
Hassan.
Lady.
Thank you,
Oh
guys.
yeah. And even you, Wilmy. Golly.
Me, Sarko, Wiley. Man, I could go on.
But yeah, guys, see you next week.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for being with us. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And you guys, I hope you all enjoy Halo this weekend. And actually, wait, let me answer this last question. Are we still doing a Surgeon Simulator? Yeah, we are.
Got
We are,
to.
Wiley.
Gots to.
Yeah, I
TBC,
promise you.
yeah,
We'll
it's coming.
figure it out. We'll definitely figure that out. And play Scarlet Nexus, yes, for sure. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll see you next week. You guys have a great week. Enjoy Halo Infinite
Yes.
for this weekend. And peace. Bye. Later.